Chattanooga Radio, 92.7 Sports now.
Well, good evening and welcome to Sports Talk with Sam Jordan, and we are glad to have you along wherever you may be, whether it's here in Chattanooga, the Tennessee Valley, or anywhere around the world. You can always watch us here at YouTube and our Facebook. We don't have up and running tonight. We're in that process of transition, moving a lot of equipment from our Hickson location, longtime location, over to our new location over in Eastridge. So we're gradually dwindling down just what the bare essentials that we have here in studio. And it will be great once we are over permanently at our new location. We've just outgrown our location here in Hickson, and we're tripling the size of our space with our new location over in Eastridge. They're on Ringgold Road. So Keon and I, we've been decorating our studio with various sports memorabilia, and we want to pass along our sympathies to Keon. He is literally out of it. He's not dead, okay? Not dead at all, but had a surgical procedure done earlier this afternoon. In fact, I went and took him to his surgery and took him home a little while ago. Just got back, probably about 45 minutes or so, getting ready for the show here tonight. So we've got a very special guest in tonight and maybe even tomorrow night. This young man is almost like a kid at Christmas time. He just can't wait to open the presents, literally. And he will be opening up his presents to the world here coming up, filling in for Keon, and that's Nick LaFew from the Chattanooga Eagles. And so he is very pumped and excited. In fact, that's what he went to school for up at Knoxville, was in communications and journalism. So we're going to see how well he does in talking sports for an hour. So I'm sure Keon, if he can get out of the grogginess by then, will probably be intently tuning in and seeing what Nick can do. I'll be interested to see what Nick can do as well. I'm sure Nick will be interested in what he can do as well. So anyway, if you want to tune in, we encourage you. But also, we want to encourage you to call in at 423-800-8949, and we'll talk about sports as well. That's 423-800-8949, and you can do that on either my show or also with The Clutch being filled in by Nick LaFew coming up after the 8 o'clock news. But it was an interesting weekend. Some of the things that were going on, Nick will allude to as far as talking about some of the various spring games going on with Tennessee, with Alabama, Georgia. They were all having spring games this past Saturday. And then, of course, Saturday night, we brought you football with the Chattanooga Eagles. They got a big 60-0 win over the Tennessee Cobras over at Eastridge High School. And it's kind of encouraging to see how well that the Eagles did. I was a little skeptical myself. I'm not really going to get too far into this because we want to save and savor that big victory for Thursday night when we get Coach Clark in here and others. But, I was a little concerned. I'll be very honest with you, because when you had two quarterbacks go out in another exhibition game against the Dalton Danger, it's like, okay, third stringer, fourth stringer, fifth stringer, where do we stand? But, they brought back a name from the past that had done well for them, Sam Caffey, and I was like really surprised of how well the execution went on that. Offensive line did very well, considering. The one thing that I was a little perturbed about was how bad the laundry kept flying throughout the game. Some were a little ticky-tack, and I think when halftime finally got going after 2 hours of the first half. Literally, it took almost 2 hours to play one half of football. I am not kidding you. And I think they kind of had a little discussion amongst the referees and the other officials. It's like, all right, guys, we want to get out of here before 11 o'clock. We don't want to be going another 2 hours. So, unless it's very egregious, I think that was the discussion that went on. But anyway, it was a great victory. Gave the Eagles a good opportunity to kind of size up, what they are going to be looking at when they take on the Huntsville Rockets this Saturday night at Ridgeland High School. A lot of high school news going on. In fact, some new coaches being named. McCallie hires former Chattanooga Christian coach David Conrady. Who will be coming aboard as McCallie's new basketball coach, replacing John Schulman, who you'll remember that name being the former UTC Mocs men's basketball coach. And Schulman left McCallie after this past season was over with. Now, Conrady, as I said, was over at Chattanooga Christian, and he's going to be coming aboard with the Blue Tornado program, doing other things. He's coming back to the area after going to Prestonwood Christian Academy over in Plano, Texas. And he will also be a mentor and advisor to McCallie's younger students as chaplain at the McCallie Middle School. So Conrady has only been at Prestonwood Christian Academy now for 2 years. And he was the 2016 District Coach of the Year when he was at Chattanooga Christian. So coming back to the area where he's got some good roots at, and hopefully will be bringing a lot of experience. He's been a high school coach as well as some college coaching experience. He spent 9 years of head coaching at Newberry College and North Greenville University. And he was also an assistant coach at Mars Hills College in North Carolina and at Presbyterian College in South Carolina. And he was an associate head coach at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga from 2004 to 2010. But at Newberry, he led his team to the first South Atlantic Conference Tournament finals. And in school history, took North Greenville to the semifinals of the NCCAA National Tournament. And he was on Schulman's staff for 6 years. And during that time, the Mocs won 3 Southern Conference Division titles, 2 Southern Conference championships, and made 2 appearances in the NCAA Division I basketball tournament. He's a 87 graduate of Furman University, degree in health and physical education, 3-year captain of the basketball team, played point guard, starting over 50 consecutive games and leading the Paladins to a 17-12 record in his senior season. And he has international coaching experience, leading clinics in the Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, Portugal, and the Ukraine, and is coached with Athletes in Action on their South America tour, winning the Tournament of Champions in Lima, Peru, and served as national basketball director for SCORE International. So Jeff Romero, Dean of Athletics over at McCallie, says, we feel he is the perfect fit for McCallie and the right person to lead the basketball program, and is excited to begin working with him in his new role at McCallie. So welcome back to the area, Coach Conrady. All right. 423-800-8949 is the phone number to call. We're going to get into a little bit of NASCAR, if you will. And it was a big weekend with racing action going on up at Richmond. And it was a Saturday night special. And this coming weekend, everything's going to be over at Talladega with the Geico 500. Well, let's check in with Susie Armstrong and the world of wrestling on NASCAR's racing radio station, Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch have each won 3 consecutive races this season, but who's the best? Denny Hamlin weighs in.
I think it's so tough to say.
I'm Susie Armstrong, and this is Ned Jarrett's World of Racing.
Ladies and gentlemen, a new NASCAR Fantasy Live is back. for a new season and new victories.
Start your engine!
Newly engineered with a new format, new ways to win, new ways to compete, and new ways to earn yourself the title of NASCAR Fantasy Champion. Visit NASCAR.com/fantasy today to sign up, pick your drivers, and compete for the win. So who you riding with? NASCAR Fantasy Live.
The Country 500 Music Festival is back at Daytona International Speedway.
How do you like me?
With Toby Keith, Chris Stapleton, Dirk Bentley, Billy Currington, and so much more. Country 500 Memorial Day weekend, May 25th, 26th, and 27th. For tickets and information, visit country500.com. Sponsored in part by Budweiser.
The Cup Series takes the green for its 10th race this weekend. In the first 9 contests, 2 drivers have combined to covet 6 total wins, Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch. So who among them is the championship favorite right now? Busch's teammate Denny Hamlin says it's pretty even.
I think it's so tough to say. I think it's individual to the racetrack right now. I think that those guys, they're really, really close. It'd be hard for me to pinpoint one favorite, but obviously the championship in the Cup Series now is just about winning one race, and that's Homestead. So I would favor the 18 in that case.
I'm Susie Armstrong, and this is The World of Racing on the Motor Racing Network.
Thank you very much, Susie. And of course, when you hear the revving engine sound, you need to text NASCAR to 33222, and we will be pulling a name out Wednesday for your opportunity to go and enjoy some great racing action at Talladega at the Talladega Super Speedway. We had the pleasure on Thursday of talking with the president of Talladega Super Speedway, Grant Lynch, and all the excitement that you can find down there when you go. Now, when you hear the revving engine sound, you will be entered once you go to 33222 and text the word NASCAR. We will that will give you the opportunity of registering to win 2 tickets for 3 days worth of racing, and then hotel accommodations and food, as well as some area restaurants. Good evening. You're on Sports Talk with Sam Jordan. What's your question or comment?
Explain this. You text NASCAR or you text SANASCAR 33222?
No, you text the word NASCAR, NASCAR, to 33222.
33222?
No, caller, pay attention. 33222.
So NASCAR 33222.
Correct. Even our slow listeners can finally grasp it.
So I put my name there?
You only have to text the word NASCAR to that number, and if you are the one selected, we will get back with you to let you know that you're the winner.
For that number, there is no number like that.
Yes, there is.
You mean I text NASCAR 33222?
Yes. Don't crack up laughing. You knew you couldn't hold it.
So I go to my phone, and where I text NASCAR 33222.
Yes, caller. You need to have a digital phone where you can do that, and maybe have your special life skills caretaker enter that for you.
How do you know my name?
Anybody would know Mike Steele trying to fake his voice. So have Chrissy, have your special life cares coach, have your special life skills coach, Chrissy, text that for you to 33222, and you'll be entered into that. All right. He has definitely got some special life skills that need to be addressed, but we'll leave that for another time. All right, 800-8949, 423-800-8949 is the phone number to call. And Want to remind you, you can catch all of your exciting NASCAR racing action each and every week right here on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM. As we said, the Geico 500 going on at Talladega, and airtimes at 1 p.m. And we'll be announcing the winner later on Wednesday night, and we'll announce it here on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4. Don't forget, coming up here after the 8 o'clock news, we've got The Clutch with Nick LaFew. Normally it would be Keon Rose, but he is under too many drugs after having surgery on a bad tooth. And actually, when he called and asked me if I would take him to the surgery center to get the procedure done, he bit down on his tooth and was like, you could tell the man was in pain big time. And then after they had the surgery and had his head with a big, wide, white bandage, it was like he could barely talk and he was barely coherent. But we got him back to where he is at home and recuperating. So we wish him the best as well. So Nick graciously says, I'll do it. Except he was a little bit more exuberant about it. But that's all right. I think you'll have a good time listening to Nick and all the various topics that he'll be talking about. I'm sure we're going to be hearing about Tennessee Vols football, and we'll probably hear a little bit about the NHL playoffs and the Preds taking care of business with the Colorado Avalanche. Pittsburgh finally got rid of Philadelphia. I mean, they were just like a nemesis of a pest. And so those two finalists in the Stanley Cup championship last year are moving right along. So I'm sure that Nick will be talking about that as well. And the Titans, they've got aspirations of having a good draft that will be coming up this week. Yes, draft is this week. And it will be interesting to see how well that they do. The draft will get underway on Thursday in New York City, and it will go probably through Sunday. They've got usually about, I'd say about 7 or 8 rounds that they go through, and a lot of people are thinking that the Browns are going to hold on to that number 1 pick. They've got 5 picks in that first round alone. So they have the number 1, they've got number 11 and 12, and they got several other slots. Altogether, they get 5 choices because they've been so bad, and they've made trades to have some premier slots. And a lot of people are thinking that Saquon Barkley, the running back out of Penn State, and I'm telling you, he reminds you a lot of Adrian Peterson. Formerly with the Vikings and who was with the Texans this past year. And I think he's a man without a team right now, unless he signed recently that I'm not aware of. But Peterson deserves a chance to get on a team. I think he could still bring a lot. He's still young yet, but Barkley just kind of reminds you of that gritty style, not afraid to charge right through. In fact, we saw that same grittiness on a few plays Saturday night. It was good to see some football. I mean, I have been missing football for quite some time, and, I'm really pumped. And we'll talk more about the Eagles, Chattanooga Eagles on Thursday night, but a lot of bright spots and, seeing the kicking game improve like it did. So, and a few faces that you may be familiar with if you followed the Mocs throughout the years. So really great. Well, I see we're back to duck weather again outside as it is coming down again. So, while the rain is coming down, give us a call. Let's talk some sports. Got a lot of balls to talk about things. Well, call us up at 423-800-8949. Let's talk baseball. Let's talk football, basketball, you name it. We'll even talk a puck, or we'll even talk, about tracks as far as NASCAR racing tracks. And we've got a lot more to talk about here. We've got more NASCAR news to talk about as well. And we've got some more local high school sports. GPS having an announcement over the weekend with a new coach that's going to be coming on board. So, a lot of things have been going on. And the SoCon golf tournament's going on over in Pinehurst, North Carolina. So, beautiful golf course. And UTC tied for second right now in that SoCon tournament. And hopefully they'll be able to pick things up. It's been rainy over there as well. So, they're not getting out of this as much as what we're experiencing right now, and I'm sure it's probably going to be miserable for the rest of that tournament. We've got more coming your way here after the break, so get your questions together. Call us up at 423-800-8949. That's 423-800-8949. Sports Talk with Sam Jordan.
The Tennessee Valley's news talk leader, Nuga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
The pilot of the plane that crashed at the Collegedale Municipal Airport has been named. 63-year-old Robert Gillisee of Ottawa was killed when his two-seater ultralight crashed. An FAA spokesperson says the amateur-built aircraft veered off the right side of the runway and onto the grass after landing at Collegedale Municipal Airport over the weekend. The FAA and NTSB are investigating. A motorcyclist was gravely wounded after a crash in Ottawa over the weekend. It happened on Ottawa-Ringgold Road and Lee Highway when the motorcycle and another vehicle collided. The cyclist rushed to the hospital. Chattanooga liquor stores were open for the first time on a Sunday. Yesterday, Governor Bill Haslam signed the bill allowing the stores to stay open just before the weekend. The bill passed easily through both the House and the Senate. Val St. John for Nuga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News Now.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nuga Radio, 92.7 FM.
Chattanooga weather.
Lingering showers will continue through your nighttime for a while. Overnight lows settling into the mid-50s. For Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A few spotty showers passing through, but not as wet. Highs of around 70 with some lingering clouds and a little drier weather for Wednesday and Thursday. Let Glass Farm Nursery beautify your lawn and garden with a big assortment of tropicals, perennials, and annuals. Open daily, closed Sundays. That's Glass Farm Nursery, Highway 11, 4 miles south of Trenton. And I'm Sworn E12, Chief Meteorologist, Pastor 4.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Here's what advertisers are saying.
Nuga Radio.
Radio station, they really care. They're always calling me probably once a week, checking on me, seeing how things going, see if they want to change any of the ads or do anything different, seeing what my needs are. I've gotten business off the ads that you do for me, and seems to be working well at this point.
Prices were very fair. Areas in this town that we aren't able to get other ways, your radio station is able to help us out, and I really appreciate that.
We've been very pleased with the services we've got. It seems like everybody over there cares about what they're going to do, how it's going to work for us on this end, and we've been very impressed with the creativity of the ads that we've heard, and they always seem to be right on point.
Been doing business with News Talk Radio for quite some time. It's the best place and the best value you can get for your advertisement. The commercials are great. They're very professional. I was actually blown away.
The commercial that they put together was awesome. It was way far above all the other radio stations we've dealt with. The best we've had yet, guarantee you.
The Tennessee Valley's news talk leader, Nuga Radio, 92.7 FM.
We just started a family and we're already planning for the future. Michael Levy has helped pave the way to keep our financial future on track. He's local, he knows us, and cares about what's important to us. Don't put your future on hold. Call Michael Levy, 779-7755.
Hear that? It's not what you think. That, my friend, is the new 2018 Indian Chieftain Dark Horse. Yes, Indian Motorcycle. It's more than a bike. It's an American icon. And Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga is the only place you'll find their new 2018 line. There's also a great selection of pre-owned bikes ready to roll and all the gear you need to hit the open road. If you're thinking of joining the club, go to Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga. Just look at the sign on 153 in Amnicola. Indian Motorcycle, the true American original.
Chattanooga Paint and Decorating would like to remind you it's that time of year again. Spring has sprung, summer just around the corner. The temperature is perfect for outdoor entertaining. But are you ready? Is your house a little dingy? Does your fence need a coat of stain? Is your deck showing wear? If you've got work to do, Chattanooga Paint and Decorating can help. For exterior paint, stains, sealants, and supplies, stop by Chattanooga Paint and Decorating today on Hickson Pike across from Valvoline or on ChattanoogaPaint.com. Get an extra 10% off. Just say you heard it on the radio.
Mom's Furniture, her boxes of paperback romances, Mom's Estate. Oh, call Dan. Dan will help you get on with your life. Let Dan clear the old house, take care of everything. He'll hand you a nice check. 314-4034. Dan the Cleanup Man. 314-4034. In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with whom? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Let Goss Insurance in Chattanooga help you today. GossInsurance.wordpress.com. Goss, representing Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. GossInsurance.com. Goss. GossInsurance.com. Representing Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. 875-2500. 875-2500.
Nuga Radio. Are you brain dead? Still voting for pathetic liberals? Take 3 hours of Sean Hannity from 3 to 6.
Nuga Radio.
Then call us in the morning between 9 and 11.
92.7
Nuga Radio. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Nuga Radio, 92.7 Sports, now.
423-800-8949. 423-800-8949 is the phone number to call if you want to talk some balls. Football, basketball, baseball, softball. We'll talk pucks too. We'll also talk a little NASCAR as well. We'll talk even tennis balls. For a second consecutive year, the Covenant men's tennis team was voted as the USA South Sportsmanship Award winner for the sport as the conference released its spring team sportsmanship winners on Friday. Men's tennis program earned the award, clinching a share of the USA South Sportsmanship Trophy for a fifth consecutive year. Covenant has won at least a share of the sportsmanship trophy in all 5 years that it's been a member of the USA South Conference. Covenant and Mary Baldwin both collected 3 team sportsmanship awards during the 2017-18 academic year to share the overall trophy. It's the second time that both institutions have shared the trophy, 2014-15 year, as well as this year. So, the Covenant men's tennis team joined the men's basketball and volleyball programs to be voted as USA South Team Sportsmanship Award recipients during the year. So congratulations to program for doing an outstanding job, the men's tennis team. So, it's not always easy to when you have small colleges, because you don't usually have, extensive personnel that makes things, run smoothly and trying to get everybody together on the same page. And so, it's not always easy. Timely miscue on defense and 11 runners left on base from the Chattanooga Mocs softball team's offense resulted in a 4-0 loss to UNCG, that's North Carolina Greensboro, during the series finale in Greensboro on Sunday afternoon. Following the loss, the Mocs fall to 23-24 overall and 7-6 in the Southern Conference action. UNCG improves to 38-9 overall and continues to lead the SoCon with an 11-2 record overall. But a lot of things to come from that. And let's see here. Mocs will host SoCon rival East Tennessee State University next weekend. That's this coming weekend, April 28th and 29th, for a 3-game series at Frost Stadium on senior weekend. Tickets can be purchased on GoMocs.com by visiting the schedule page or by calling 423-266-MOCS. As we mentioned to you, you still have an opportunity when you hear the revving motor of a NASCAR car. And when you hear that sound, go text NASCAR to 33222 for your opportunity to be put into the drawing to win NASCAR tickets for the ARCA Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Monster Energy Cup Series races this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that includes a 2-night accommodation with Microtel Inn and also restaurant vouchers for a couple of restaurants in the area at near the Talladega track. So you've got that opportunity to win that. We've got a lot more promotions planned for this year, so make sure that you tune in and listen for the various things. Don't forget to join Russ and Val with Chattanooga's Morning News beginning at 6 a.m. right after CBS World and National News. They'll get you updated with all the latest news and happenings. They'll probably be talking about the idiot up in Nashville that decided to get naked and take an AR-15 and go shoot some people up there at the Waffle House there, right behind where he lived at. And finally, after 30 hours, they were able to arrest him without incident. And so I'm sure that the taxpayers in Tennessee will be enjoying paying for his life expectancy of incarceration. So I'm sure that Russ and Bell will have more details on that. And besides other local and regional news from throughout the area, traffic and weather 12 times an hour during Chattanooga Morning News as well. And of course, my sports updates as well. So you can get it all right here, one location, every weekday morning from 6 to 9 with Chattanooga's Morning News. David Tulis takes over with Nuganomics and talking about your news that's happening, how it affects you. And he'll have that discussion as well from 9 to 11. And then Nuga News Power Hour at noon. Russ and Val will get you updated with all the things happening during the morning. And if you missed the early news, well, you can catch it at noon and also at 6 o'clock as well. And then Bloomberg Politics, Policy, Power, and Law from 1 to 3. And then Sean Hannity, America's second most listened to talk show host, from 3 to 6. And then we get you updated with all the latest news that's been happening throughout the day with the Power Hour at 6. And then at 7 o'clock, you got me. And then the Clutch with Keon Rose from 8 to 9. And tomorrow night, more than likely, will be Nick LaFew. So he'll keep you entertained, talking about all the various sports going on a national level, as well as some collegiate stuff as well. And then Alex Jones from 9 to 10, Ground Zero with Clyde Lewis. That's one program that I keep getting a lot of feedback on lately. People enjoy listening to Clyde in his discussions about aliens and supernatural events that go on. A lot of people are into that sort of thing. And of course, you can check in with Clyde and give him your thoughts on that as well from 10 to 1. And then from 1 to 6, you've got Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. And just here the other night, I got word that Art Bell, who is the original founder of Coast to Coast AM, passed from this life over to the next. And he was still active in radio with doing a show on the weekends, and of which you can hear right here on Nuga Radio. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, whether they keep airing some of his older shows or if they find another host to take over the reins. So, it's sad to hear of us losing one of our program hosts. This actually is our second one, because Larry Kudlow, who does a show on the weekends, is now part of President Trump's staff. And so the Larry Kudlow Report has a different host, at least temporarily, until they figure out what they're going to do on a permanent basis. So, our conservative announcers that we have here, they get a huge promotion working with the White House. So a lot of great things that you can hear right here. Of course, CBS World and National News each and every hour at the top of the hour. And of course, during Chattanooga Morning News, we give you CBS News twice an hour, at the top of the hour and as well as at the bottom of the hour. So that way you get the latest information, whether it's locally, regionally, nationally, or internationally. and find out what the latest is. Hate to hear that President George Herbert Walker Bush not doing well now, just a couple of days after his wife, Barbara Bush, was laid to rest down in Houston. So, they spent 73 years together. And, President Bush won. It'd be sad to see leave, but, there's just a lot of deep love between those two. And you don't always see that anymore, I've seen it a few times with friends and family members throughout the years, and it's very touching. But hopefully we don't have to experience that. All right, 423-800-8949 is the phone number to call. Well, we've got an opportunity. Let's check in with what has been going on with NASCAR with Woody Kane and NASCAR Today.
Kyle Busch's third straight win has him moving up the charts.
To tie another Hall of Famer certainly means a lot.
I'm Woody Kane. The story next on NASCAR Today.
I'm KFC's Extra Crispy Colonel, and you're the extra busy regular person who has to make dinner for a family of 4. But you can shirk that responsibility because my Extra Crispy Tenders $20 fill-up from KFC contains 12 extra crispy chicken tenders, 4 dipping sauces, 4 biscuits, 2 orders of mashed potatoes, and a side of coleslaw for just $20. And now that'll feed them. KFC, it's extra crispy good.
Pricing and participation may vary. Tax and substitutions extra.
Kyle Petty here. My friends at Click and Close, the official mortgage provider of NASCAR, have stepped up this year to support Victory Junction through the fastest lap of the race program on NASCAR radio. So join our team. Go to clickandclose.com/NASCAR today to donate $43 or more and help us give the gift of camp to children with serious medical conditions. That's clickandclose.com/NASCAR. And just look for the Victory Junction logo. Thanks to Click and Close and NASCAR Radio for their support this season.
Kyle Busch's win at Richmond Saturday night was his third straight this season and the 46th of his career, tying him for 15th on the all-time list with NASCAR Hall of Famer Buck Baker. So can he make it 4 in a row this weekend?
Pretty cool to win 3 in a row. I mean, that's really special. Certainly we did that in 15 and almost won 4 in a row. We ran out of gas a half a lap to go, and next week we go to Talladega. So I think it's easier to win the Powerball than to win at Talladega, but we'll give it a go anyways. We'll see what we get.
Busch does have 1 win at Talladega, but that came back in 2008 in his first season at Joe Gibbs Racing. There's always more at MRN.com. I'm Woody Kane. This is NASCAR Today on the Motor Racing Network.
Thank you very much, Woody. And don't forget, you can catch all your NASCAR racing action right here at Nooga Radio 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4, and, of course, at NoogaRadio.com each and every week. At Talladega this week with a Geico 500 airtime set for 1 o'clock from the Talladega Super Speedway. And also don't forget that when you hear the revving engine sound, make sure that you text NASCAR to 33222, and you'll be entered into a drawing to win tickets to the ARCA Series race on Friday, the Xfinity Series race on Saturday, and the Monster Energy Cup race on Sunday, which is the Geico 500. You'll also have a 2-night accommodations at the Microtel Inn, and you'll also have restaurant accommodations also afforded to you if you are the one that we pull the name of. So make sure when you hear the racing revving engine to text the word NASCAR, NASCAR, to 33222. And we'll be awarding that on Wednesday, and we'll be announcing it here on Sports Talk with Sam Jordan Wednesday night during the 7 o'clock hour. We'll draw that just before 6 o'clock, and then we'll try to get a hold of the individual and let them know that they are the big winner. So you still have an opportunity to enter when you hear that NASCAR racing revving engine. Make sure you text the word NASCAR to 33222. All right. Now, I wanted to add one more thing. I was talking about the softball team for UTC. Originally, they were supposed to have a game tomorrow in Cookeville against Tennessee Tech, but that game has been canceled because of the wet field conditions. And as you can tell outside right now, it's still duck weather for everybody, and supposed to be pretty much that way for the entire week. So just make sure that if you are looking at going up there to follow the UTC Mocs softball program, not happening tomorrow. So just wanted to let you know that. All right. Don't forget, coming up after the news here at 8 o'clock, we've got The Clutch with guest host Nick LaFew. So make sure you tune in, call in with questions or comments. Let's talk sports, folks. I mean, that's what we're here for between 7 and 9 o'clock every weeknight here on Nooga Radio. And don't forget Nooga Sports Outdoors on Friday night with Cindy and Randy and the rest of the crew. While we're talking a little bit about outdoors, anglers and recreational boaters will enjoy improved access to Tennessee's Lake Chickamauga thanks to a major overhaul of the Wolf Ever Creek Boat Ramp, including the installation of a new pier that occurred on Saturday by the Union Sportsmen's Alliance and a dedicated team of Union volunteers. Wolf Ever Creek Boat Ramp is located adjacent to Harrison Bay State Park, just outside of Chattanooga. Is one of the area's most heavily used public water accesses in the area. Renovation expands year-round public access to 36,000-acre Tennessee River impoundment by replacing an existing dilapidated dock and a brand new 104-foot-long handicapped accessible floating pier. Union volunteers donated approximately 300 hours of labor to demolish the old dock on April 7th and install the new pier just this past weekend, April 21st. Volunteers will return to install an additional handrail on the pier abutment, align the floating section of the pier, and install transition plates between the dock sections. In the meantime, the pier is open for use. Volunteers also replaced damaged and unsafe floorboards and the top rail of a fishing pier adjacent to the boat launch. It's part of USA's Work Boots on the Ground program. The project was conducted without the use of state game and fish funds. Materials were purchased with a $10,000 raised by United Auto Workers Local 42 and $22,000 in federal marine fuel tax revenues from the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. All union labor was donated. So the project originated when UAW Local 42 expressed interest in taking on a community-based conservation project, and USA Research revealed strong public support for improvements to the Wolf Ever Creek Ramp. So congratulations on those improvements, and thanks to the UAW Local 42 for making it happen. So taking care and keeping the beauty of our natural resources ever so pristine. So great to see public and private working together and making a difference in our communities here in the Tennessee Valley. 423-800-8949 is the phone number to call, and we appreciate everybody that does call in. And hopefully, if you want to talk sports, here's your opportunity. And of course, coming up here after the news with CBS World and National News and Russ and Val with their news update, call in to The Clutch with guest host Nick LaFew and express your comments or questions. He'll be talking Preds, I'm sure. He'll be talking about the Vols spring game. How optimistic are you about the Vols having a better season, what they have had or experienced the last couple seasons under former coach Butch Jones and the interim coach that they had here? I don't even remember his name, and I know he coached at Michigan. Brady Hoke, yes, thank you. And, I really thought that if Hoke could have won those two games, he probably would have been the guy to take over the program because of having that major college experience. But, it wasn't to be. Coach Philip Fulmer, who is now the athletic director after the disastrous athletic director leadership that we had, toward the end before Coach Fulmer got named by Beverly Davenport, the chancellor for UT, because they kind of embarrassed her when they were going to name Greg Schiano as the new coach, and the public backlash. That's one of the things, and I'll kind of go off on a little tangent here if you will appease me. Just because the big system is going to do its thing on the most part. Doesn't mean that the local small voice that we have can be shuttered or quieted. Because if it wasn't for those students, the alumnus, and a lot of other people on a weekend, mind you, and expressing their displeasure with the former athletic director and the school in general of wanting to bring Greg Schiano on as the new head coach to replace Butch Jones, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in now. We probably would have been on I would have to say, a downward spiral even more. I don't think Schiano's that great, especially as a head coach. He was at Rutgers, but Rutgers, you might as well compare it to Vanderbilt. And I'm not trying to offend anybody at Vanderbilt who's a fan or alumnus, but I'm telling you, we're not talking major college football, even though Vanderbilt is in the Southeastern Conference. Why? I don't know, but they are. But anyway, Schiano still staying true there with Ohio State as an assistant coach. And you know what? I think Jeremy Pruitt is going to do an outstanding job. I really, really do. Pruitt has been groomed by Nick Saban, who Saban has groomed a lot of great college coaches. And it's just like Bill Belichick with the Patriots. Even though I cannot stand the Patriots, he's groomed a lot of good coaches that have been able to go on and get their own gigs as a head football coach in the NFL. And that's pretty good. That says volumes. And I think Pruitt is going to show Nick Saban that Tennessee Vols football is going to be on the comeback. And I look for an upset. Maybe not this first year, but I think within 2 to 3 years, we're going to see the Vols upset Alabama. Yeah, I will go out on a limb on some things. And that definitely, I think Pruitt wants to prove that he can do it against these old bots. Maybe by then, Saban will retire or he'll go off to one of these new professional football leagues that are coming aboard next year and the year after. Who knows? Clutch with Nick LaFew is coming up here in just a few moments right after CBS World National News.
With Russell Dow, weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nuga Radio, 92.7 FM.
3, 2,